Early season pole position. The Reivers have it, and now they want to keep it. First regular season pole is out, and the Reivers' magic number is 2. 2-0, and stay in the top 2 spots for the rest of the year. After a conference test last weekend, it's back on the road for a top 20 showdown with Hutch. We've got the highlights coming up next. This is the Iowa Western Football Coaches Show. It's the Stroh Show, and it's on the Reivers Sports Network and IWTV. From the IWTV studios on the campus of Iowa Western in Council Bluffs, this is the Coach Stroh Show. I'm Jake Ryan, joined by Reivers head football coach Scott Strohmeier. This season's schedule is absolutely front-loaded with road games, Coach, and unlike the big boys in the Power Fives, you don't get the luxury of scheduling all of your non-conference opponents or your first 5 games at home, and that's a big deal for them. Do you feel like at this level maybe it's more important to be on the road, kind of bonding as a team to get the season started?
You know, I don't mind, actually. You know, you find out a lot about your team, but just the distractions of school starting and all, you're with them in camp where it's just the players, and then all of a sudden you have all these the general students checking into the housing and a lot of activities going on that first week. So it's good to get off early, I think. The only downfall is they miss a little bit of class to start off the semester, which isn't always good, but you know, if we can make that up, we'll be okay.
Well, does that ever scare you going on the road? Obviously, you go to Coffeyville, you know that they've got some firepower, and now Hutchinson this week, 2 very good ball clubs, and you're hoping to be 3-0 or 2-0 after those 2 games.
Yeah, I mean, anytime, you know, like I said, everybody likes to play at home in front of their home crowd and maybe some family, and so you're always a little bit, how are we going to respond in those situations? But I thought, you know, our guys so far have handled it extremely well as far as just traveling, you know, and playing okay. All
right, well, let's see how they handle it this week. Our highlights from Week 3 against the Hutchinson Blue Dragons from Gowan Stadium in Hutchinson, Kansas. Reivers come out in the black-white-black combo. They wore the black-blue-black combo last week, and it'll be, well, a 3-and-out for the Reivers on the first drive, and then the defense comes out to play. Desmond Jackson, one of a couple running backs that we saw on the day. Their starting running back went down in pregame, Coach. Did you happen to see that, or was it a surprise to you not to see number 21 back there?
Well, it was a surprise. I mean, I seen him walking off in pregame. I didn't know how serious it was, but, you know, he's a good player.
TJ Starks testing the waters when the Reivers get the ball back. A long throw down the sideline and intended for Michael Zachary. He makes the catch, but out of bounds. And a lot of testing the waters early for both squads. And then second play of Hutch's second drive, they go 60 yards for the touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, you know they're going to take some shots, and they got kind of a little bit different formation, and we got mixed up in the back end, and they got a big one.
And anything you can do, the Reivers can do as well, although didn't go for 6 this time. Michael Zachary, great catch, and then a quick duck under for about 10 to 15 more yards.
Well, it's good to kind of get something going there, you know, a big play coming back after a score, and then we get a pass interference. So we're down
a defensive holding, and then the pass interference, back-to-back penalties. And Nick Singleton, is he going to find the end zone this year? Still looking. That's one of a couple long runs he had, and then you have to settle for an Eddie Ogamba field goal. Puts you on the board. You trail 7-3.
Well, it's good to get points. Obviously, we want touchdowns in that scenario, but it's good to come out with points.
Did Willie O'Hara play baseball in high school at all? Do you know? Because right there, he played a great center field, flagging that ball down. Chester hitting the quarterback as he threw, and Shucker throws it into the air, and the first turnover of the game goes the Reivers' way.
Well, it's, you know, again, you get something going 7-3, and it's good to get a turnover back.
TJ Starks using his legs, gets outside, gets within striking distance of a first down, but you got to kick it away again. And then, well, one more time, it's Chester Graves and the Reiver D digging a hole, and then pressure coming. Check this out. Elias Bell, I believe, from the backside just kind of grabbed on and pulled him down. Elijah James in there as well. And then they bring in their backup punter, which is their place kicker. He takes it right off the chest plate, and you've got the ball in great field position.
Yeah, I mean, again, special teams coming up with a big field position change in kind of some windy conditions.
Here's that other catch by Nick Singleton down the sideline. Comes up about 5 yards short. Guy loses his helmet on the play, and Nick, again, he's ripping off good chunks for you. And finally, guess what? A rushing touchdown in game number 3. It's the first of the season. Does that surprise you that it's the first time you've been? I know it surprises Coach Woods, but does it surprise you?
I didn't even realize that was the first one, to be honest with you. But I knew we struggled down there, and it was good to get one in. It was a 4th down play.
Again, they run it out to Desmond Jackson. Great tackle by Jamarian McDonald, getting the feet of the running back. And the Reiver defense playing very strong. Here's another one. How about Perrion Winfrey? Is he a little bit of a freak of nature back there or what? He's a big kid.
He is. And when he plays, man, he's going to be a really, really good player. He's playing behind some guys right now, but producing.
Here's another toss down the field. Looked like TJ was just a little bit off, a little bit short on his short throws, a little bit long on the ones where you guys went deep. Did you notice anything early?
Yeah, and sometimes when you don't play in the wind a little bit, and it's just you got to follow through a little bit more, and sometimes you try to aim it, and that wind carries it or holds it up there.
Willie O'Hara, the interception, also his second game in a row with double-digit tackles, and then, well, the ball all over the place into the end zone. Guess what? Interception, and out with it come the Reivers. Nice pickoff, and then at the end of the play, you get a block in the back, so you get moved down. You make the decision to go with Clay Beathard on this drive instead. Yeah,
and it just really he's earned an opportunity to get a series, and moves around the pocket, finds Reivers there, and check down route, and gets us kind of going.
Nice little shuffle pass, and then Reivers, nice strong run, pushing it forward near the 30, although he couldn't hold on to the ball at the end of it, but they say he's down on the play, which is good news for the Reivers because the drive keeps going.
Yeah, and then we come out with this one. We get a big, good block on the outside by Nick, and Clay just getting it out there, and Marcell taking it the distance.
Breaking the tape at the end. Looked like he got tried to push him out of bounds, but instead pushed him into the end zone on that play. So the score now, 10-7 Reivers. You finally take the lead.
Yeah, it's good you come back, you're down right away, and I thought our kids responded, not be worried about being down a touchdown to start.
Elijah James, a couple tackles there. There's Rodney Owens and Chester Graves again, and I tell you what, the Reiver defense coming up strong, even on the plays where they had some space, they're throwing it out. They're thinking about that pressure coming.
Well, and I think that's what some of these quarterbacks right now is they're not getting comfortable back there because we're always getting some type of pressure on them.
So 17-7, Marcell, the second touchdown of the day. A first half rally leaves the Reivers up at halftime by a couple of scores. Can they keep the gas pedal down, or is the home team due for some action? More of the Stroh Show coming up right after these on the Reivers Sports Network and Iowa Western Television.
Listen, I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you judge me for having a problem. No one is going to know that I need help. I need help. I know that no one is going to judge me for having a problem. I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you listen.
Calls me googly eyes.
You know you're beautiful, right? You know that?
Even you are beautiful. I got bullied for wearing glasses. Share if you're against bullying.
We put it out there, just took off. 3 million people have shared this post. Don't let bullies get you down. I stand with you. Our whole family's wearing glasses. I wear glasses and I'm proud.
I even have the army on my team.
All the kind comments brought my child joy. I don't feel thank you is enough.
That's I'm a scientist.
Recycling takes a team.
Why don't you let me and me help you out?
Everyone plays a part. Don't trash
I love taking stuff apart and building new things out of it.
what could be treasure.
Pal's my most advanced android.
This is awesome.
You haven't seen anything yet.
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
From the IWTV studios in Council Bluffs, this is the Coach Stroh Show. Coach Strohmeier, you made a quarterback change second quarter, and what was it that led to that decision? Obviously, TJ Stark's very talented athlete, Clay, very talented. It always seems like you've got two guys, and you can depend on either of them. Why did you make that change in that second quarter?
Well, I think Clay's earned the opportunity to get in games. I think just in the way he prepares, and we missed some things. We were 17-7. And just thought maybe it was time to give Clay a shot there, and then he drives us down and we score, which when he's been called upon, regardless of the situation in the game, he's ready to go. And so I mean, he just responds well to those situations. And we were really just looking for a spark. At 10-7, we made some, I wouldn't say mistakes. I don't think TJ played terrible. It didn't take him out, and I tried telling him that because of his performance. I just wanted to give Clay a shot.
See if there's a different look maybe that Hutch wasn't ready for, and you got a couple of scores out of TJ, you get a score out of Clay, and then the second half, well, let's check out those highlights as the Reivers are up 17-7. They got a rushing touchdown, they got a passing touchdown, and of course that field goal by Eddie Ogamba. And then, well, the defense, don't forget about them. They came out to play. Man, oh man, were they all over Mason Shucker on the day.
Well, and I really like the way they've been coming out in the second half here. The last, or really all three games, they've done really good right from the start.
Have yet to give up a point in the third quarter, I believe, is the stat. And again, Atlias Bell in there with his guys, a 3-and-out, and you guys get the ball back right away in the second half. Clay Beathard goes to work. Nice pass across the middle. Looked like it was a catch, and then they call it incomplete. Or actually, they called it complete, excuse me. It was a Michael Zachary catch that I thought they had earlier in the game. Singleton makes that catch, and then a solid catch by Bennett Spry for his first reception of 2018.
Well, and I think, like Clay's really, he knows where to go with the football, and that's the big thing, and that's a big play. We had a wrong route there by one of those guys, but it wasn't Marcell. He was running the right route. But, again, putting in the position, they're playing a lot of man coverage, and guys has got to make some plays.
Heard down on the field, that was the best touchdown catch they've seen in quite some time as Marcell Barbee goes up to get it. And here's that fumble that Hutch gets on. Nifis gets just a lot of pressure, people jabbing at the ball, and he loses it. And then it'll be Hutch that takes over, gets a chance to go back to work.
Well, and those are, defensively, this is great off of a turnover. We got to take care of the football, but this is, like I said, when the defense, nothing really phases them right now. They go three, they get a stop, we turn it over, they come back ready to go. Monte
McGarry with the tackle there on Desmond Jackson. Then again, Nick Singleton, he's just working hard to try to get some yards. Sets that one up, and then across the middle, another great catch for the Reivers. This is the one that I thought was a completion, but they must have knocked it away from Michael Zachary. And then here's one in traffic, solid catch, and the Reivers going to work, another first down. Is Beathard just chucking it all over the yard. And how about that? Michael Zachary sliding into second with the great catch.
Yeah, a little change up, put him out of the backfield, trying to get him one-on-one with a linebacker. And Clay's really doing a good job of knowing where to go with the football and just finding a place. There's only one spot that ball could have went, and that's where it was. And Marcell did a nice job.
Yeah, backs up, grabs the ball, goes into the end zone, and then gets pushed down. You get to kick off from the 50-yard line. Not a surprise, Hunter puts it through the uprights on the ensuing kickoff, and then here's their second tailback, Jonathan White, who really got nothing going. They turn the ball back over, and then it's Clay back to work.
Yeah, I think it's probably like 31-7 or something right now, and these are the times where we need to put some people away.
Like on that play, the receiver slowed down, and then for whatever reason, it got caught up with a man. This is the second of the two punts, and this is where he goes the distance, Jalen Irwin, all the way 73 yards for the touchdown on the punt. I thought 79 might catch up in that Cole Ernst, I believe, and when he stumbled back, I was like, oh, he's not going to get him. Hunter really had a good shot and gave it his all, but the touchdown returned, and the first punt return for a touchdown in quite some time against that Reivers special teams.
Yeah, we weren't aligned in a proper formation, which hurt, and gave them a second chance, and they're dangerous, and now we got to be able to stop the momentum.
There's number one on the reception again, Michael Zachary doing it well, and the Reivers continuing to try to run some clock. Flomo comes into the game. He wasn't 100%, but still had a good couple runs.
Yeah, we're getting down there. We don't have many more guys that we can go with, so it was good to see him. And then, it seems like something like this is kind of turning the tides again. It's 31-14, and we have one off our hands, and again, we got to stop the momentum, and something trickery's coming.
Oh yeah, so then they throw it wide open receiver, and it's a big touchdown to Whitmire, and then they cut it. Then it's looking like a game. It's at this point 10 points, 31-21. And then again down the field. How about that tip to himself by Marcell Barbee? He had quite the day. Over 100 yards receiving, 3 touchdowns. Pretty good for a freshman.
Yeah, for sure. That, is really under-recruited only by D2s. That one there, I would like to see that one in a slow-mo because
a little bit high on that hit. No penalty on that play. Hutch still driving, still trying to get after it. and they're getting some things, opening some things up. This is really their only sustained drive of the game, and Jonathan White, a huge play here to get him down into Reaver territory. Rodney Owens making the hit out of bounds, and then they get the field goal that gets it to within one score.
Yeah, it goes from where we have a good feeling to, okay, now we got to step it up and go.
Flomo, here's one of those good runs that he had on the day. Just keeps going, keeps churning, but you have to punt it away. And how about Hunter Pinniger, and how about your special teams? Bounces, all the way down to the 2-yard line. Pretty good spot to have them when they have to drive 98 yards to tie the game.
One is one of the reasons why we went for it, or punted it on 4th down. Like, put ourselves defensively playing well, get a safety, which is huge.
Morris Joseph gets the tackle. Here's the question, Coach. They ran that play 2 times in a row, barely made it out of the end zone the first time, and then ran it again. I guess my thinking is, why would you run that play twice, especially when you were so in danger the first time?
I'm glad they did, because it gave us that chance.
Great catch over the shoulder of Whitmire, and then guess what? It is Willie O'Hara that's right there. Another guy gets in to pull him back, and what a stop on 4th down, keeps him out of the end zone. That was quite the performance. You hang on 33-24. I keep telling people that game wasn't as close as the score indicates.
No.
You guys dominated most of the game. They had 3 different plays that were a trick play or a big play where maybe they were dialing something up that, I don't know, they just, for all intents and purposes, got lucky on.
Well, and I think we have to do a better job and prepare for that stuff as well, because we're playing so well that people aren't sustaining drives. And so that when it's no different if we're not moving the football extremely well, we're going to take some shots and just hopefully hope for the best. And we're giving up some of those, but like I said, that game wasn't nearly as close. But those last 7 or 8 minutes, it was a lot closer, though.
Yeah, Clay Beathard playing well, Marcell Barbee playing well, and the defense was just lights out. As you know, we are a fan of the defense on this show, but we love when the Reivers fire the cannons when they get into the end zone. A guy that did it 3 times Saturday joins us next. Brent Pentecost, no stranger to the end zone, and Reaver freshman wide receiver Marcell Barbee. They join us next from the Stroh Show. It's from Council Bluffs, Iowa, in the IWTV studios. This is the Coach Stroh Show on the RSN.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him. Hi. You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home just in case. Why would you do that?
Probably okay isn't okay. Call a cab, a car, or a friend.
Good choice.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education. What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills. The smarts. Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
So we were walking to school.
I started thinking about lunch. Mom packed me turkey and cheese.
She's
I really want
smart.
cheese pizza.
Sometimes her mind wanders.
We should have a sleepover.
I remember saying, Laura?
I think I heard Mom say something.
The sign says don't walk.
Sometimes it's so overwhelming.
I really hope she doesn't
I
have
really
another
hope I
bad
don't
day
have another
at
bad day at
today.
school today.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
From the studios of Iowa Western Television, this is the Coach Stroh Show. I'm Brent Pentecost. After a record-tying day, it only makes sense that we have freshman wide receiver Marcell Barbee join us. Welcome to the show, Marcell.
How you doing?
Not too bad. So, big game for you. 5 receptions, 117 yards, and the big thing, 3 touchdowns. Let's talk about how did you feel about the game and how you played?
Well, it was a fun game all around. those guys it was a good team, just a really good team. They were really big, physical, but we kind of just battled through it. And, we came in as the number 2 ranked team, and obviously we had to show them why. But it was a fun game all around. We all played hard. A great game, obviously. So I just been focusing on the details in practice, so it's been really helpful when I come into the game.
So it's back-to-back games with a touchdown now, reception for yourself. Is that something you've been envisioning for yourself so far through the year, getting out there, going up, and especially some of the catches you made this past weekend were just great?
Well, I've been trying to just, boost my confidence each game, trying to do what I can do to help the team win. I started off as special teams the first game, and I blocked a punt. And, ever since then, I'm just trying to earn my rep game by game, So started with a punt block, and the next game they moved me to wide receiver, and I finally caught a touchdown. And then, so I'm just kind of trying to get better week by week and taking it game by game. So
just produce any way that you possibly can.
Yeah, any way to help.
So let's talk about kind of the process. You're from Pueblo, Colorado. What made you end up wanting to come here to Iowa Western?
Well, I kind of really had no other option, but I'm kind of glad I chose this place because it's fun, really great football team, great coaching staff. So, I find myself getting better and better each day. So it's kind of really helpful.
What have been some of your favorite things so far about being here in Council Bluffs at Iowa Western?
Well, being around the team I'm with. I've never played with such a cool group of kids before. So it's just really cool. The coaching, I've never been coached the way I've been coached. So, it's kind of really helpful too to help me get to the next level. And I really like the community too. Everybody's really nice. So
that's awesome. Well, we expect to see even more big things coming out of you as the season progresses. Thank you for coming on, Marcell.
Appreciate it.
We'll wrap up this edition of the Stroh Show when we come back. For Marcell Barbee, I'm Brent Pentecost. More after this on Iowa Western Television and the Reivers Sports Network.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your closet. Still no jobs? Just more stuff? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff. Our job is to unlock those jobs. And it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Wake the sun, tell him that I've begun to dream of things to come, and tell the trees not to look for me. I'm going to find some peace of mind. Wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun.
things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
An early season bye week. The Reivers have 2 of them loaded into the schedule this season. We are back on the Coach Stroh Show. I'm Jake Ryan along with Coach Strohmeier. I know that they've changed the rule as far as playing non-scholarship schools, and that kind of led you to not schedule DuPage this year, but you leave them off the schedule despite the fact that they changed the rule. You have 2 bye weeks. What's the thought process on leaving the bye weeks in instead of filling them?
Well, I think just from last year and how physical this league is, and sometimes we get dinged a little bit with some of our depth. And I mean, it's a long season to go 11 straight weeks or 11 games in 12 weeks. And, I felt 3 games in, we're a young team. And if we can, I'm glad I did it now because A, we got to get healthy, and 2, we need another week to continue to improve. And then to have one, after 4 more games is also huge, just from getting guys healthy is probably the main thing throughout. And it also allows it from our kids of getting recruited. In the past, we don't have any time for them to go on official visits. So you really have maybe 2 weekends after the regular season before bowl game, and then after bowl game, you only got 1 weekend before these mid-year guys. So it puts them in a bind of where they can go to school too.
Was there any thought to scheduling like Globo Gym or like New Year's Resolution Academy, anybody like that?
Absolutely not. I don't.
What does that do for a team other than give them some stats that are? I mean, you can't even really count them.
Yeah, I mean it. Besides the fact that you get to play some kids, we can do that in practice. We don't have to play a game like that. I just don't think it looks good, and maybe they get them highlights and that helps them get recruited. I don't know, but I don't know. I find more like we'll do in our bye weeks, we'll do scrimmaging amongst ourselves.
Right.
Not so much the guys that I know can play, but the guys that maybe aren't playing as much and some of our red shirts, and keep them kind of excited about practice.
All right, we'll get some guys healthy. You got a stiff one coming back from the bye week against Garden City next Saturday, the 22nd. Should be a heck of a game. Probably be a top 5 matchup by the time it all plays out.
Yeah, I would think. I think there's 7 coming into this week, and I would assume that there'll be a top 5 team, and hopefully 2 versus 5, and we got to go there. They're going to be looking for a little bit of revenge after what we did to them last year out there when they're coming off their title season. So, but we'll be ready. We got to get healthy, and we're excited for the challenge.
All right, Coach. Have a good week off.
Thanks, Jake.
Week off. We hope you enjoy your week off as well. The Reivers will, of course, heal some bumps and bruises, start that game plan for Garden City. That will most likely, as I said, be a top 10 matchup. It'll at least be a top 10 matchup when the Reivers roll into Garden on the 22nd. Game time set for the Kansas Plains at 1 o'clock. We will be on the air on 89.7 The River with pregame at 12:30. Until then, of course, we hope you enjoy your weekend rooting for whatever team that you root for when the Reivers aren't playing. Keep in mind, at least 4 former Reivers scored touchdowns last weekend at some level, including Geronimo Allison for the Green Bay Packers against the Chicago Bears. We won't talk any more about that one, but congratulations to all of our Reivers getting highlights as the weeks go on. For everyone involved today, including Brent Pentecost and the Reivers Marcell Barbee, and of course Coach Strohmeier, I'm Jake Ryan, reminding you to keep up with the Reivers on social media by following @GoReivers. Wear your blue, be loud, and of course, go Reivers.